What's up, y'all? Today I want to highlight one of my new favorite brands. They're not really a newer brand, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, they kind of are, but they are really starting to grow on me and they have some really interesting options. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So I'm talking about Ferramonster and their kind of more budget-ish sister brand Wixco. On the Ferramonster side, we see more premium steels like S90V and M390. On the Wixco side, we see a little more budget-friendly options like 14C28N and 690. The handle scales have this nice kind of like marbled carbon fiber that you kind of see throughout both of them, but we see more of the titanium on the Ferramonster side. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. One of the things that I really like about Ferramonster is that they have some really interesting kind of original and like wicked looking designs. Here we have the Reaver, and this is in S90V steel. We've got this nice, I want to say over 3.5 inch blade, this almost like Persian style with this great big belly. And it's got kind of a down swept, or it is upswept, but it is oriented down from the handle. It is very comfortable in the hand. Great ergonomics on this thing. We've got this nice milling on the handle scales. We've got a milled titanium pocket clip, this nice backspacer with those matching kind of accents there, and really no real billboarding on these knives either, which is something else that I'm a big fan of. They've just got their kind of chevron, I guess you could call that their logo. That they have on the pivot that you see, and the Wixcos do have their logo on theirs. But this is the Reaver again, and we've got this nice polished DLC kind of satin blades. Are just really interesting, great action on these things too. That big oversized blade really opens with authority, closes very easily as well, and just really awesome option from Ferramonster. So we'll go over and look at kind of a similar offering from their Wixco side, and that is the Jugger. So we do still have this kind of big bellied blade, but it comes in here and we've actually got a little bit of a recurve, which is going to actually make for some really nice cutting action with that little bit of recurve. It's going to trap some material right there, and it's going to make for a really nice user-friendly experience. We've got this interesting kind of like harpoon almost grind up here on this dark washed blade. I believe this one is in N690. This is a button plunge lock here on this one. This one's got, I believe, an aluminum backspacer, reversible deep carry pocket clip, and just look at that marbling on those scales. That is just so cool, so interesting. We see a little more blue on this side, a little more green on that side, but those are some really nice looking scales. Makes it nice and lightweight with this, which is nice with this really big oversized, again, almost 4-inch blade here. The action is very nice on them. All of that weight on the end of that blade allows it to open with some authority. We've got a nice crisp detent with the plunge button lock. Really good closing action as well on it. Really interesting option. If you're interested in any of these, I have them all linked in the description of this video, and use code KNIFEPILE to get 10% off. I will get a little bit of commission if you do buy any of them using that link, and that will help support the channel, so I do appreciate that. But the Jugger, really interesting option from the Wixco side of things. So going back over to something from Ferramonster. This is the Urbangrip V2. I did some other dedicated videos on this if you didn't already see them, but this has some of the absolute best detent that I have tried on a knife. I mean, this one punches way above its weight in terms of action and performance on that end. Just, it's so light isn't the word, because it's not a light detent. It doesn't feel mushy, it doesn't fall free, but it is effortless is what I want to say, which allows the front flipper to be equally as effortless as well. I can just get the finger over it. This one, we've got this nice, that marbled carbon fiber inlay, titanium frame lock. This one is in M390. We've got that brushed satin or belt satin finish on the blade there. It's a hand satin, not a belt satin, but really over 3.5-inch blade. So it's a nice, good, not oversized, but it is a large knife. It carries very nicely, and just really excellent knife there. Back over to something from Wixco. We will take a look at the Wortex. This one is in 14C28N. We've got that really nice marbled carbon fiber handle scales. These do have stainless steel liners in them as well. Nice recurve blade of 14C28N. This one also has the dark wash. That recurve is going to be really nice for grabbing into material, for making those cuts. It's going to pull it in and trap material. Nothing's going to slip out. So really nice action on these. We've got the really nice snappy little thumb stud action for a flick or a thumb flick there. Again, this is the Wortex. Really big fan of this one. This was my first like recurve blade. I wasn't sure about them in the past because of like the whole sharpening deal, but I actually broke out my old Spyderco Sharp Maker rods. That was like the first sharpening system that I had, and those worked perfectly on this. Was able to get a really nice shave sharp edge just with those rods. So there is easy, not expensive methods to sharpening these. I think you could just buy the rods on their own for relatively cheap and just clamp them into whatever you want, or you can just kind of freehand it if you want, but definitely some good options for sharpening recurve. If you don't have it in your collection, I would definitely suggest giving them a try. And this one is a relatively cheap option for something that you're getting a nice, like more premium feel. It's good kind of in between. I think it's a good bang for your buck on this one for a cool recurve blade with those materials and that steel. Back over to Ferramonster. This is their newest release. This is the Astrome. This one is in S90V steel. We've got another really nice hand brushed finish with it being, I think it looks like there might be a bead blast on the fuller right there. We've got this nice stylized thumb stud and this crystallized blue titanium frame lock handle scales, and we do have, I believe that is Timascus pivot collars in there. It might be Timascus or flame titanium, but really nice pivot collars in there. We've got that crystallized titanium on that pocket clip as well. And again, really nice big over 3.5-inch blade, so it gives it some really nice action. We can get a flick with the fuller, and all of these of course have really nice drop shut action. We can get a thumb flick on the stud there, and we can get a middle finger flick on that as well. But nice, really nice chamfering and contouring on this guy. Super comfortable in the hand. These all feel great, and they're just such interesting designs. That's one of the things that really caught my eye with Wixco and Ferramonster, is they're really interesting, really original. They're very striking designs, and I'm just a huge fan of something different. Don't get me wrong, I love traditional. I got all my Spydercos and Sabenzas and all that fun stuff. I love a good traditional purpose-built knife. These can be that too. These are perfectly functional, very nice functioning. They're not too thick behind the edge. They're on the thinner side behind the edge comparing to some, but really huge fan of what they are doing, and I am grateful that I'm having the opportunity to check so many of them out. But again, this is the Astrome. This is their newest release. Love this thing. S90V steel. Again, really great action. Drop shut, just falls right shut there. Really nice and smooth. Nice chamfering around. We've got the chevrons on that titanium backspacer that also has that crystalline on it. Feels great. Nice functional jimping there as well. And the last Wixco that we're looking at is the Splark. This is the violet, or the purple, I want to say. We've got, I want to say, an aluminum backspacer. I don't believe it's steel, and it's not likely titanium, but it's got that nice reflective purple violet there. We've got some really good flipping action on this really kind of interesting, original, kind of like modified sheep's foot blade, I would call it, but it still comes to a nice fine tip. We've got this big oversized fuller there, which actually works really good for an opening method. Like you can get in there with a reverse flick on it very easily. Nice snappy flipper action because we have all that weight on the end of that blade there, so it does come open with authority. Came very sharp out of the box, and we do have this nice kind of like polished stonewash finish there, and we have it's not polished in the fuller, and it is, let's say it is, you know, you can still kind of see some of the grind lines on the bevel, and it's a nice little nice little contrast of finishes on the blade there to give it a really nice, interesting look. But again, you don't really see a whole lot of other stuff looking like this. But it's still, you know, it's a flipper, it's a liner lock, it's a 14C28N blade. It's going to do everything that you need it to do. It's just going to do it. It's just going to look a little different, a little more interesting when you're doing it. We've got this nice little milling on the handle scales of that purple shredded fiber, which gives it some nice grip there, and just all around really excellent little knife. So If you are curious about anything from Wixco or Ferramonster, I've got them linked in the description. But anyway, I hope more people start to check these out. I think they're really interesting, really cool knives. They're really nice, high quality. I haven't had any QA issues with any of the ones that I have tried so far. I've been very happy with them, but thank you for watching.